Hey everyone, Nathan here. Welcome to another episode of Unscripted. Today I have Jeff from Avocor. Jeff, how are you?
Man, I'm doing great. So good to finally be on this show. I'm watching every episode. I'm really excited to be here and chat with you.
Thank you, thank you. It's fun, like we've done so much together, but we've never done a
Yeah,
podcast together. So I'm
I
glad
know.
you're here. Tell our audience a little bit about your role at Avocor and what you do today.
Yeah, at Avocor, I'm the director of product marketing. I've been in this space. I used to be a former Logitech employee, so that's definitely where our paths have crossed. Been in this collaboration space now for man, I want to say going on 9 years, and was a part of just the initial vision there of connecting people in the collaboration space. So I love it, man. I grew up doing performances. I did something called forensics, which forensics people think science, but this was actually forensics can be defined as to define the truth. And what I did was actually platform speaking. So we would write
Wow.
scripts and perform them to articulate the best communication to get our points across. And so this natural thing I grew up doing bled into the career that I do now, like product marketing. There's a lot of storytelling involved. We're
Yeah.
defining value points of products and also about connecting people and living through the pandemic, coming out of it. And this theme has resonated so much to people out there about connecting people. It's really at the heart of what I do at Avocor, and we do that through interactive touchscreen displays. It's the core of what we do at Avocor, and we're really excited and to be venturing into new areas of our portfolio, but to work with all of the great partners like yourself at Logitech.
No, that's great. Obviously, we love your products. We partner together. We have them in our office. Our
Mhm.
customers are putting them in. So we really appreciate the partnership and the collaboration that we've been working on together.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about what's happening in the market. So obviously, you make these beautiful touch displays from actually a
Mhm.
variety of different sizes. Some
Yeah.
have operating systems, some don't have touch, I believe, many that are out there. Tell me what's hot in the world right now, because
Mhm.
obviously everyone's focused on video, everyone's putting
Yeah.
things in, right, and more video in their
Yeah.
conference rooms, but you have a different view on the world. So I'm
Mhm.
curious to see
Yeah.
what you're seeing.
Yeah, our view is all about interactive and participation. And I just got off a webinar, and we were talking just about the heartbeat of what all of us are doing. And it's really to promote just people feeling like they're actively participating. So at Avocor, the core of what we've done in our history and our bread and butter, our roots are on interactive displays. You asked what's hot in the market. What's not cooling down, and I can't say this is a new thing, but for the past 2 years, we've been talking about 21 by 9, our L series, which is a 105-inch display. And I think it's enticing and remains relevant because of the practical use case that our customers are getting out of that kind of experience.
So tell me,
Hmm.
what's the typical use case? So obviously
Yeah.
there was a lot initially with Microsoft Teams rooms, in fact,
Yep.
signature rooms, right?
Right.
So the idea was you turn your room on its side,
Hmm.
and rather than having people along this long bowling alley type table, you
Yeah.
basically have an arc, and now everyone can actually talk to each other really well in the room. But
Yep.
because you now have this extra large, and this is like how I'm describing it, extra
Yeah.
large 21 by 9 room or display,
Hmm.
now you can, with front row, see all the people
Hmm.
at the bottom.
Yep.
And I know Zoom's now supporting 21 by 9 as well. So
Yeah.
that's the typical use case why people are using
Yeah,
it,
that's
right?
a very popular one. And I think what you're describing there is definitely the most hot topic, because I think we were all trying to solve for this in the past. We had split screen displays within a room because we wanted our participants on one side, we wanted to share our content on the other. And what you got with that, though, we're in the hardware of making a room look great. So,
Yeah.
first, when we approached our L series, is how do we make this experience just aesthetically look better? How do we make it look more modern? How do we get rid of that middle bezel that usually comes with two displays side by side? How do we make something that feels sleek and fit within the type of deployments we're seeing with design companies coming in and rethinking that room? You brought
Yeah.
up the U-shaped table, right? This is
Hmm.
really just a new design of a type of desk that would go into a meeting room. You articulated it well to say, we're tired of seeing bowling alley. I want to see people's faces. I want to feel included, right? So our approach to the L series was, let's put a 21 by 9 experience in a room so that you can have the canvas width to be able to have all of those important things. Your meeting participants, the content that you're sharing. The chat is really important. We talk about in-person inclusivity for the folks in the meeting room. Before, only the moderator could see the chat, maybe through a Logitech tab, etc. But now we're bringing
Right.
that chat up onto the screen with Microsoft Teams front row experience. And you're hitting the nail on the head that I think people are remaining excited about this product because it is answering a problem pain point across many different areas. It's first answering it in design. It's second answering about usability. And then third, it's answering into just walking into a room and being like, wow. Because you saw it in person, Nathan.
Oh
You
yeah,
guys had it on
we
your
have a
show
couple.
floor at
Right.
InfoComm. You set up that Teams experience. It was one of the most frequented areas of your booth because people, you walk in, you're like, man, this is great.
Yeah, and what's interesting about this format, it's been so popular that
Mhm.
our partner Steelcase actually has 3 different
Yep.
size tables: the Arc 3, the Arc 5, and I believe the Arc 7. Right. So
Yeah.
depending on the size of your conference room, if you want a more intimate space, then this, by the way, we're seeing this go into executive conference rooms. So
Yeah.
typically you have
Totally.
one small display, one giant display with a couple chairs. But it was
Mhm.
always tight. It was always a round table, and it was really hard to get around. You're always like fighting your elbow. There's no elbow room. But with an
Mhm.
arc table, now everyone has the same view. You
Yeah,
can
totally.
gently, even if you're not on a video call, you can now gently look at each other versus turning
It
harsh angles.
it feels natural, right? It feels like a natural
Completely natural.
conversation that we're sitting down amongst everyone, and we're almost creating that circular type of experience with the
Yeah.
participants on the screen because we all feel like we're at equal eye level and we can look to our left and our right and see everybody for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's definitely great, and obviously with the furniture, and then obviously now the displays, it's a popular option. I'm glad Zoom is now in this space as well, because a lot of people like that format, and they like those
Mhm.
rooms turned on its side because it's just more
Mhm.
intimate.
Yeah, totally. And I think another reason why these are important, if getting out of that experience of the Zoom experience of 21x9 and Teams experience 20x9, video rules right now, and especially in
Mhm.
this post-pandemic world of distributed workforces. At Avocor, we want to facilitate better engagement. And so it's about inviting people up to the board and screen. And what you get with that 21x9, 30% more real estate of a screen is we're seeing customers bring this into brainstorming sessions. So you're
Mhm.
having a wider canvas to bring up multiple windows to actively work through. I've got my presentation. I have the graphs that represent that data that I'm articulating. You ever watch the movie Minority Report? Tom Cruise?
Yeah,
back
it's
in
been
the
a
day?
while, but yes, absolutely.
Yeah, that one scene where he's like up there and he's manipulating windows and he's drawing them out. Our screens work with the software that's just like that. And it's actually really cool. I feel like a Tom Cruise-esque type of experience when I'm doing demos at shows, but it's really neat that I can have everything I need on one canvas instead of minimizing, opening, sharing different applications into meetings. So that's another strong use case of why I think these screens are popular. Just to bring it home on this, if you think about what we've done on our desktops, I was recently at your offices earlier. Beautiful location, by the way. I wish I could work
Thank
there
you.
every day.
They've done. I know. Me too.
Yeah, you all at a majority of your desks have standardized on a 21x9 desktop screen. And so if we think about what's taking place at the desktop, we are going to see, I believe, the shift. You asked about market trends, where our meeting rooms are going to need to support a wider canvas.
Yeah.
I think the technology is headed there with the L series and these wider screens. You're future proofing your technology for your meeting rooms, because I think that we're going to see that desk is king. We all love our desks. We love our spaces. How we work at the desk, we need to replicate how we work within our meeting spaces, within our workplaces.
No, that's great. Obviously, we're doing a lot with you guys already in 21.9s. There's a lot more for that to come, I'm sure, as customers expand their spaces. Let's pan a little bit to Direct View LED, because I saw the announcement, like it was last week or the week before, and it's the X series, right?
The X series, yep.
Yeah, those look beautiful. So tell us a little bit about X.
Yeah, to be honest, Direct View LED is a new avenue for me. I come from a world of meeting bars and software and hardware, but nothing at this scale. So I had to educate myself a little bit on what this was. So everybody who's listening, a Direct View LED is basically a 138-inch screen that's composed of these 5x5 panels of micro LEDs that are all coming together. And the benefits of just having a direct view LED is really in just those little LED pixel. So the pixel compilation of the wow factor that comes with it. There's no backlight required in these screens. If you think about traditionally how you would have to get something that large, you're probably using a projector screen, multiple installation components of coming together. We just set this up at a customer site. It took us less than 2 hours to put together. So the advancement of technology of how these come together, and I'm no engineer, Nathan, I'm no installer. And for me to have a simple set of instructions where I basically, our screen is composed of 5 columns. From those 5 columns, they're all rerouted with data and power. You take your 5x5 panel and you, just like a puzzle, you're popping them in to all of those columns. It was super simple, and I was really surprised by it. So the X series, we're seeing these in lobbies. Customers are asking them for their larger scale conference rooms so that they can have the view of their participants of meetings. Put this in your open office area when you have your all hands. I think for us, it was just about expanding the portfolio of those who love Avocor, are standardizing on their products, and having that large scale display to have as an option.
Now, tell me a little bit, and maybe you don't know the answer to this, but I'm going to ask anyway. So can you build up a wall essentially? Does it have to be a certain ratio of size, number one? And then could you have it emulate 3 independent displays? Or 2 displays, for that matter?
Yeah, that's a great question. When in this announcement of X series, we're going to release it in 2 sizes, and this is just from direct feedback of what our customers are looking for. So you have the 138 inch screen, and then you have 100. Yeah, come on. My goal is to have one in my backyard soon. I need it for product testing, Nathan.
Sure, I believe it.
And the second one is 132 inches, which is actually ultra wide. So going back to the popularity of 21:9, having a larger scale ultra wide display in those 2 formats. Now, possibilities are out there to chat with us on, you have a certain requirement in a certain layout that you're looking to scale to. The benefit of having a solution like ours is it can be. Now, what we released are in those 2 sizes to start, but we definitely see, based off of just how this works in the market and obviously customer feedback, you can scale as needed for sure.
I'll be looking for those for sure. Like, I'm guessing we'll probably see each other next at InfoComm, right?
Yeah, InfoComm. I know you won't be there, but some of your team will be at Enterprise Connect, and we're going to have the X series there. So that's at the time of this recording is around next week, first week of March. If you missed that, for sure, if this is post Enterprise Connect, we're going to be at InfoComm. We're really trying to put this on display. So in the future as well, we're going to have these spread out across not only the US, but our European offices with our integrators. So you can come and see it in person. That's awesome. I think when you do, this isn't new technology, this has existed, but when you think about it in terms of the space that we're in, we are a provider that's wanting to answer all of the spaces, all of the sizes, all of the meeting rooms and the way people work today. And I think you have to have this kind of product in your portfolio to be a great answer to a customer's needs for how they're outfitting their meeting spaces.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I can't wait to see him. I know it's going to be massive, and I also have a backyard, by the way, just in case. But I know that's not the use case at all. But thank you, Jeff. It's really great to see you. It's really great to hear your perspective and what Avocor is up to. Thanks again for the time and for jumping on the call with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I always like chatting it up with you. It's so fun. We are both into tech. I know we geek out and nerd out on a lot of things. So to have a conversation live is really cool. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it, man.
Oh, you're welcome, Jeff. With that, folks, we are done with another show of Unscripted. See you next time.